It's DEW Time with Pastor Steph.
Good morning. Rise and shine. You're on with this DEW Time with Pastor Steph. How are you this morning? That's what I like to hear. For this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So, where were you yesterday? Yesterday was Wow Wednesday, and we started off the morning with our girlfriend Vivian and her socially conscious segment. And the update on the student loans, honey, they hit me like a ton of bricks. I had no idea they were trying to hit up the seniors. Yes, they have 452,000 people age 62 and older who owe on student loans. Yes. And they were going to garnish their checks. Yes, they little old pittance that they get, their only income, their only source of, sustenance. And some of them can't pay rent. Some of them can't eat. But yet they was going to garnish them checks. Well, there's been a pause put on that. So, there will be a reprieve. We don't know if it's going to be permanent. Vivian says, go ahead and get that money back, baby. 452,000 people. That's a whole lot of money to recoup. But you know what? If these people are already at a poverty level, we can't bother them. They didn't feed the world. Let them feed the people who have contributed into all of the others eating and getting medical and housing and all this, and now they can't even get it themselves. Well, the rat problem looks like it's not as big of a deal as it was last year this time. Yeah, they say, according to statistics, phone calls 311, there's a 18.4% down from last year this time. Yeah. Now here's the thing. They say Staten Island, the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Queens have all seen a decrease in the rat population, but Manhattan, the one that they said was the worst, they have not seen a decrease yet. So hopefully, with all the ducks in a row and everything in place, they will see a decrease like everyone else. Well, Vivian showed us 2 videos yesterday for her socially conscious segment. And the first one was a subway agent, MTA worker, who was actually taking people's money and swiping them in. Yeah, right in front of the camera. Now, you are out of control. You know that there are cameras all over the place. You know that eventually they're going to snag you. Terrence says, you're trying to get a Bentley. We all have said, yeah, long enough, accumulatively. He'll come up 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, or 5 days for him, because I'm sure he's only going to get 5 days. But that's a couple dollars over the time. And finally, Antoine Massey is the last New Orleans fugitive to escape out of the prison over there. But he's got a special issue. According to Antoine, he did not escape. He was set free. Yep, he showed a document that said the woman that made the complaint against him, that got him locked up and in jail and found guilty, by the way. She retracted her statement, so they let him out. So he's calling on Young Thug and and what's his name? Lil Wayne and President Trump and the whole 9 yards to help him with this situation on video. Poor Antoine. He ain't thinking. He is so not thinking. I'm sorry. You will not be free very long. All I know is all the people who have helped you remain free, they going down right along with you. Well, that was the wild story of yesterday, along with the other story that I brought in of the Checkers employee who shot the man because when he came through the drive-through, they got to arguing over mayonnaise, and it was enough to eventually shoot him. Well, listen, the conversation was crazy yesterday. As always, it's been crazy all week. Well, that's how we spent our Wild Wednesday. If you were not there, I advise you to go back and listen. Now, if you can watch, then check us out right here. Yep, it was right here yesterday. Or Facebook Live, Coach for Christian Life. And if you cannot watch, but you can listen, make sure you go to Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Audible.com, Apple Podcasts, Apple iTunes. Yes, we are out there. And make sure, please, right now, if you have not already done so, hit that subscribe button and press that notification bell. This way, you'll always know when we are coming on. You won't miss a beat. Okay? All righty. Well, we about to get this Therapeutic Thursday morning started. Yes. We have our friend Athena back, our nutritionist. Yeah, our health coach. She's back, and she's going to give us some real good information on the foods that they say are healthy. They're not all healthy. All right. So go ahead and get that healthy breakfast. Is it healthy? Go ahead and tell somebody that it's Due Time with Pastor Steph is on. And whatever you do, don't go anywhere, because we will be right back.
And still don't know this, but did you know that to have the body of your dreams, you only need 3 ingredients that they try to hide from you at all costs? If you've never heard of them, pay attention, because they can make you feel like you're prime again. Start with magnesium. It's like throwing gasoline on a fire. It helps reduce bloating all over your body, especially in the belly area. Plus, it can improve physical performance and even support better sleep quality. Next, take acid fulvic. It fights water retention, reducing puffiness in your face, decreases inflammation, relieves joint pain in your shoulders and legs, and improves skin and hair health. And finally, vitamin B. This ingredient helps reducing mental fatigue and memory issues, boosting your energy levels, and making you feel lighter and more relaxed throughout the day.
Good morning, and good morning again. Welcome back to It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. And it is Therapeutic Thursday. Yes, the day we talk about our health, whether it's our physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, financial health, whatever health we need to talk about. Today's the day. Okay. Well, I can't get my morning started without saying good morning to those that are out there watching. So make sure if you're in the room, you check in. Okay. Let's say good morning to our friend Terrence. Hey, Terrence. He's been the first one to check in for a minute now. So, hey, Terrence, thank you so much for joining us. Oh, we got our girl, Ketty. Good morning, Ketty. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We got our boy, Serge, in the room. Good morning, Serge. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. We got our girl, Teresa. Hey, Teresa. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We got our lady, Tamika, in the room. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You got a break today. Yeah. And we must say good morning to the ladies who help us hold it down each and every morning, that allow us to be on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Let's say good morning to the ladies. Anika, hey, Anika, thank you so much for joining us, and definitely our girl Shantice. Thank you, Shantice. Thank you. Good morning, and maybe we'll get the chance to talk to you later. Hopefully so. All righty. What are we talking about today for our health tip? Let's see. Well, I hope you brought your pens and papers, because I told you our health coach is going to be on with us, and she's going to give us some information. But before we even get to her, we've got those brain boosting foods that help to prevent and protect against Alzheimer's disease. Okay? And yes, we can eat our way into health. Yep. God's food has definitely been designed to get the job done. We just got to make sure we eat properly. All righty? Well, fatty fish is the first thing on this list that will help fight against Alzheimer's. They say fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines are true brain champions, packed with omega-3 fatty acids, and they touch those neurons that will definitely help with Alzheimer's. Yes. Recent studies show that eating these fish twice a week can slash your risk of cognitive decline by 40%. Wow, that's almost half. Wow. That is really crazy. Wow. Well, they say that besides the omega-3s that help brain inflammation, and they say they have found that eating these fish definitely help against the Alzheimer's disease. Grilled salmon for dinner or sardines on your salad might seem, simple, but it definitely helps to get the job done. All righty. Wow. Berries are always on our list. Blueberries are powerful, and they give a punch to brain health, and they are loaded with antioxidants, especially flavonoids, that researchers say help guard against memory loss and cognitive decline. Now, they did a study recently, and they found that older adults who ate blueberries regularly scored higher on memory tests. Nice. Blueberries, antioxidants rather, work by fighting oxidative stress and inflammation, which are two villains, they say, commonly linked to Alzheimer's. So put them in your smoothie, snack on them, find any way to get them in your system, and you will definitely help to fight the Alzheimer's. Turmeric. Now, I have been using turmeric in my tonic. And now I see why I stopped using turmeric. It stains absolutely everything. But they say turmeric is that golden spice that gives curry its flavor. And it's also responsible for brain boosting potential. Now, the active compound in turmeric gives the rare ability to cross the blood-brain barrier. That really helps with the Alzheimer's research. Now, clinical trials have shown that supplements, those are people, had sharper memories and better attention spans than those who did not have the turmeric. Nice. They say to get the most from turmeric, nutritionists suggest pairing it with black pepper, which helps your body absorb the turmeric better. So whether you put it in soups, cooked into rice, or sipped as golden milk, turmeric is easily fit into your daily routine. All righty? So make sure you get some turmeric in your life. Broccoli. Wow. Broccoli, they say, is a definite brain defender. Packed with vitamin K, this vegetable helps your brain, and it makes those special fats that make up your brain cells stronger. Wow. So a 225 study link showed that higher vitamin K intake helps with better cognitive scores in older adults. And broccoli can definitely get the job done. On top of the vitamins, the broccoli delivers powerful antioxidants that reduce oxidative stress as well. That is known as a key finder in Alzheimer's. Now, you can definitely get broccoli into your meals very easily in your stir fries, roast them, and eat them as a snack. You can definitely get those broccoli pops into your digestive system. Okay, walnuts. Yes. Walnuts are definitely great for brain health. They are definitely great for omega-3 fatty acids. And several studies show that eating walnuts, definitely help adults have better memory and cognitive tests. Wow. They say walnuts are also full of antioxidants and inflammation fighting compounds, and will definitely give you better brain health. Now, we got walnuts that can go into anything. Your smoothie, your salad, anything. Just snack on them. Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is great. They say filled with flavonoids, caffeine, and antioxidants. Helps you get that smarter thinking going. A 225 test showed that dark chocolate eaters scored higher on cognitive tests, and they reported feeling more alert. The flavonoids in chocolate help increase blood flow to the brain, which is essential for memory and focus. Wow. Okay. Now, keep in mind, this is the dark chocolate, not the regular chocolate. Oranges. Oranges, we know, are bursting with vitamin C, and it definitely comes in many different forms. You can have orange juice, straight oranges, whichever way you want to eat it, drink it, and it definitely helps to fight the Alzheimer's. The vitamin C helps with oxidative stress and inflammation, two major contributors to the Alzheimer's. And they say peeling and eating an orange as a snack or orange juice, like I said, for breakfast will definitely help you. So just add it into your diet. Eggs. Powerhouse. Vitamins B6 and B12, folate, and choline. They say all of those things definitely fight Alzheimer's. Not only that, it helps with your memory and your mood. Eggs are incredibly versatile. I definitely know that. You can get them scrambled, poached, any way you want to eat eggs. It definitely will aid in your fight against Alzheimer's. And they're saying with the way Alzheimer's is hitting people, definitely throw an egg into your system. You will definitely help to fight that disease. Spinach is the next one on the list. They say spinach isn't just for Popeye. It is filled with vitamins K, E, and C, packed with antioxidants, helps to fight the brain from oxidative stress and cognitive decline. The high vitamin K content is especially valuable for brain function in spinach. And they say supporting everything from memory to processing speed. Wow. So salads, omelets, smoothies, we definitely can use spinach anywhere we want to. Green tea, one of my favorite, they say, definitely has brain benefits, loaded with antioxidants. Green tea has been shown to improve memory and protect against cognitive decline. And sipping it as just a regular cup of tea, or I put them in my smoothies. Yes, when it calls for water, I just make green tea. I've even put them in my tonic. When it calls for hot water, I just throw a couple of tea bags in there. It boosts. And a lot of people don't like green tea because it doesn't have a taste. And they tend to add sugar. No sugar to your green tea. It definitely kills the taste as well as the effect. So we got a lot of things to help us fight Alzheimer's. So just in case you didn't remember something or you missed something, you want to fight Alzheimer's, get that fatty fish such as salmon, mackerel, and sardines in your system. Get those blueberries. Get that turmeric, broccoli, walnuts, dark chocolate, oranges, eggs, spinach, and green tea. You can't go wrong. You definitely can't go wrong. And these things are just like overlapping. So green tea, your blueberries, your spinach, right there in a smoothie. If you do those three things in one smoothie, you've gotten those things in your system already once. Okay? If you do, you can put the walnuts in your smoothie. Put your walnuts in your smoothie. You could definitely have your fish. And also, I have a smoothie, a recipe that calls for cocoa, like the dark cocoa powder. unsweetened. Look at that. That's a fourth. Was that 4? Green tea, blueberries, walnuts, spinach, and dark chocolate. 5 things right there that you can use and you can do your smoothie. And you've already fought off already. Okay? Let's see. Let's see what our room is saying. We all need to just keep blueberries around. Yes, Terrence, I agree. I told you, any healthy list that we read from definitely has blueberries on it. All the time. All the time. Anika says, indeed, they are on every list. Yep. I also heard you freeze them. They're even better. Wow. And we keep ours frozen. Because, listen, fresh produce always goes bad quickly. It does not have a long lifespan. So anything you can freeze, and I've taken to freezing, let's see, anything, mangoes that start going bad, blueberries, strawberries. If we buy the fruit, sometimes they have the berries, the raspberries, the blueberries, the strawberries on sale. And if we don't eat them that quickly, just clean them really good, put them in the freezer. And they can always be used later. Not only that, for those of you who eat smoothies, bananas, we throw in the freezer all the time once they start ripening so they don't go bad and draw gnats. If you put those in your freezer and then pull them out right before you go into the smoothie mode, your smoothie comes out like an icy. And it is so good. It is so good. So you can definitely get that done. Yes. Terrence says, yes, freezing them is good. And he also loves his broccoli. We freeze the broccoli as well. Yep. If I buy fresh broccoli, just cut it up and freeze it. Well, it's about that time that we get our full nutrition lesson going on. And we have our friend, our sister, our health coach, Athena Dent Alley. Let's say good morning. Good morning, Athena.
Greetings, everybody. How are you? How are you? How are you?
I am
Happy
well.
Thursday. How are you, Pastor Stephanie?
How are you, Athena?
I'm awesome. Just beautiful. Just happy to see another blessed day. And even though we're in the heat, it's a beautiful thing. Always great to be above ground.
Oh, amen. Amen. Well, for those who are not familiar with you, before you even get started, why don't you let everybody know who Athena Dent Allen is?
All right, everybody. So I hope everybody is doing well today, regardless of how yesterday was. If you were blessed enough to open your eyes this morning, then you have another day to make it a great day. My name is Athena Dent Allen, aka Unlimited Artist. I am a mom, a wife, and I'm just blessed to wear a lot of hats. I'm a community advocate, an educator, and a humanitarian. But what I'm very fortunate to do is be an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for the past 13 years. And through my business, Unlimited Artists, I offer various professional services. I offer literary services for anybody who is trying to write a book, who wants to do a memoir. If you are trying to get a website done for your new business. And I also sell quality merchandise. And one of the things that I love so much is being a nutrition and wellness coach. I come with 45 plus years of holistic living and experience and education. And for me, more than anything, it's important that we live our lives not just being happy, but being healthy. Because when you're healthy, you can get to do all of the things that you set out to do, all of your aspirations, all of your goals, and finding your purpose in life. I love sports. I love music. I collect teddy bears, and I am a nerd. So there you go, in a nutshell.
All right, all right. Well, we have definitely had the pleasure of having you on last year as well as this year. And we have learned so much from you. We've had you at our women's conference and letting everybody know that God Spares on July 19th is our third women's conference, Breaking the Yoke. And Miss Athena will be right back with us again. She had a wonderful presentation last year, and we are so looking forward to having you again this year. And we've got a nice topic today. Let's get started.
Well, those of us who are learning more about food, we want to look better, we want to feel better. You know, there's all of these kinds of diets. There's all of these new foods coming out. Some of us are scratching our heads. Should I eat this? Endame beans. What is that? Sea moss. Sounds good, but what is that? So there's just so many different foods that are coming to the surface that people are learning about, because we're tired of eating the same old food, but the same old junk food. This is food that we grew up with. You know, our parents, for whatever reason, whether it's cultural reasons or economic reasons, you know, they bought what they could. They bought it in the house. This is the food that was cooked for us. But as generations moved on, we have choices. We have better choices in reference to what we decide to pick and eat. And there's health food stores all over. You have Health Nuts, you have Mrs. Green's, and you just have so many health food stores now, which is your better choice of going to shop for food. But you think, oh, you know what? I'm going to the health food store, so I know I'm going to eat healthy because there's nothing but health food in a health store. However, not necessarily so. There's a song called Not Necessarily So. So, not necessarily is health food in a health food store healthy for you. So, let's take a walk into a health food store and see, is what I'm really eating healthy for me? So, you say, well, you know, I don't want to eat potato chips anymore. They're fried, they're full of salt, they're not really good for you. So you go and you find snacks that are made with cauliflower. They have these snacks that are called cauliflower sticks. They come with cheddar cheese, ranch, sea salt. And you think, oh man, these are great. I actually personally tried them myself. And then I'll say about a couple of weeks later, my ankle started swelling. Never happened to me before. And I'm wondering, okay, this is not a good sign. There's something that I'm eating that's causing my ankle to swell. So I'm kind of pinpointing all the different foods that I'm eating. And so I normally read, and I suggest that everybody read whatever you eat. Make that the motto when you go shopping. Read what you eat. Look at the sodium count. Look at the sugar count. All of that is very important. So those cauliflower stick snacks had 180 milligrams of sodium. Aha! That is what was causing my ankle to swell. So as soon as I stopped eating them, my ankle went down in 2 days. So it's very important. A lot of the snacks that are in health food stores, even though they're made with a lot of great ingredients, they're gluten-free. You have to watch the sodium count. Anything over 90 milligrams of sodium is too much salt. So if you're a person that you know that you suffer with high blood pressure, water retention, and you stay thirsty all the time, you should not be eating any kind of snack that have over 100 milligrams of sodium. So it's very important when you're going into a health food store, pick and choose wisely. And that goes the same thing for those protein bars. Oh my
Wait.
goodness.
Athena, wait, I got a question.
Sure.
I got a question. The cauliflower sticks. Now, I know in and of itself with the 180 milligrams of sodium that you say that was in them, can the problem be coupled with the preparation? Like, what were the cauliflower? Do you know how the cauliflower sticks were made? Were they baked? Were they fried?
They were baked.
So they were baked with
Yes.
this high sodium content.
That is correct.
Wow.
And then,
so
yes,
even
and
when we check out the because some people automatically, here's what happens. They go to the store and they look for chips, and then they pick up the baked chips, and they just assume that because the chips are baked and they're not fried potato chips, that it's automatically okay. So that's why I wanted to make sure to ask, how were these prepared? Because the sodium content alone is what was the killer, not even the preparation. Okay.
Exactly. And so this is the tricky thing has happened to health food. So a lot of companies have switched to baked chips, puff popcorn, even Lay's, they have now baked chips. But what I also found by reading all of the ingredients in all of these baked products, because they know people are trying to eat more health conscious, they want to stop eating the fried potato chips, the salty pretzels. One of the shockers was the high level of sodium that I found in all, or most, not all, but most of the baked snacks that I found in the supermarket. And even when you go in the health food aisle, which is where the cauliflower sticks are and a lot of the baked snacks are, a lot of them had 225 milligrams.
Wow.
250 milligrams of sodium. I was like, wow, they're really trying to kill people here, because the thing is, I'll say at least 65 to 70% of people who go shopping do not read the label on the back. They will they may read the sodium and the sugar count, or they may skip over that and read the ingredients to make sure, okay, I want to make sure that there's nothing in here that I'm allergic to.
Right.
So what happens is they'll read the ingredients. It's like, oh, okay, this looks healthy. And it goes into the shopping cart, not realizing that you skipped over all of the itemized proportions of sugar, salt, fat. But the main thing is, and let me just say this, everyone, sodium is salt. Salt is sodium. So when you turn that package over, regardless of what kind of food that you're buying, salt is sodium, sodium is salt. And so it's very important that when you look at that amount of milligrams of sodium, that's salt that you're taking into your body. So any chip or snack that has anything over 100 milligrams, put it down, because it's too much salt going into your body.
Okay. Thank you. All right, so now you are up to the protein bars.
Yes. So a lot of us are on the go. We got meetings to get to. We got to get the kids off to school or the kids to school, babysitter, especially if you're in management, you're a supervisor, you're a CEO, you just gotta get going. You gotta get going, and you really don't have time. Some of us, if we have time, we'll make a smoothie. Great. A lot of times, if we have time, we may have a bowl of oatmeal, put some fruit in there. Great. But then sometimes there's no even time for that. So, you just went shopping and you bought a box of protein bars because it's like, hey, it's protein bars. It's got everything in there that I need. It has some nuts and seeds. It has whey protein powder or soy flour. May have some brewer's yeast, and I grab 2 and I'm out the door. What I found with a lot of these protein bars, and when I go to the supermarket and I go in the health food aisle, there's over 30 different kinds of protein bars. 30 different companies are selling protein bars. And a lot of these protein bars, one of the culprits that I'm finding is most of them are made with chocolate. Why do we need chocolate so early in the morning, afternoon? You don't need chocolate. Chocolate should not be in a protein bar. And most of the time, it is either dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is good. It's very good for your brain cells. It's good for your red blood cells. But why do you need chocolate in a protein bar? Because it's supposed to be a protein bar. They put it in there to give it flavor. Okay, so that's strike one. The next one is the amount of sugar. So now you say, well, I don't see sugar. Normally it says cane sugar. Cane sugar. And then they may put sunflower seeds or sesame seeds. And then the next sugar is corn syrup solids. And you're like, yes, corn syrup is sugar. So that's 2 sugars. And then sometimes they'll put molasses. That's 3 sugars. And then sometimes they may say honey. That's 4 sugars. So you have 4 different kinds of sugars and one 3.5 ounce protein bar. So you're starting off your day not only with chocolate, which already has sugar, but you're getting 4 more different types of sugars. So the question is, where is the protein? Yes, the protein is in there, but you're actually getting more sugar than you're getting protein. So those of you who are athletic, I'm athletic, and you think, okay, those of you who want to go on a diet and you feel, okay, let me just get me a box of protein bars or buy a couple, because usually they are 4 for $5 or they have sales all the time. Be careful. These protein bars that they have on the market are full of sugar and chocolate. You want to get protein. That's the key word, protein. So how do we get protein? Instead of eating the protein bars, make time to make a protein shake so that you're actually getting not just protein. You get to choose any kind of milk, whether it be oat milk or almond milk. If you're not allergic to cashews, you can use cashew milk. You can put your fruits in there, any kind of fruit that you want. Now they have different chlorophyll. If you want to put chlorophyll powder, if you want to put chia seed, flaxseed. So if you really want to get protein, then make a protein shake for yourself. It takes all of 5 minutes. 5 minutes to make a protein shake. And no, you actually don't need to put honey in a protein shake. I know people like a little sweetness. Okay, if you want to put a tablespoon of honey, that's okay. But normally you don't need, because guess what? The fruit is sugar. Fruit is sugar. Fruit is 80% sugar. So you don't need to put any honey, no agave, no molasses, because you're already getting sugar from the fruit. So my advice is stay away from the protein bars. Take some time. Next time you go to the supermarket, turn it over and read. Read how much sugar. Most of them have between 12 and 15 grams of sugar and one protein bar. You should only be getting at least 6 to 7 grams of sugar in any item, whether it's a fruit bar, whether it's a fruit cup. You should only be getting at least 7 grams of sugar, even a cookie. If a cookie contains anything above 9 grams of sugar, it has too much sugar. So let's be careful of those protein bars, everyone. If you want protein, take time to make a protein shake.
I got a question. Shanti's? Okay, thank you. All right, so 2 questions. One, why do we need protein, especially maybe in the morning?
So one of the great things about protein is very important for various reasons. One, your joints, your tendons, your skeletal body needs protein to enrich your bones, your tendons, your joints, so that you can move much more easily. Protein, it feeds your muscular system. So a lot of times when you find people that have issues with arthritis, they get a lot of leg cramps. You could say, oh, well, they probably don't stretch. Yes, sometimes that is the case, but a lot of times it's because you lack protein. Protein is just like, so let's take it for example, your car, a car. What does a car require? It requires transmission fluid, brake fluid, and oil. So protein in your body is like oil for your car. It helps keep your body lubricated, but it also provides nutrient oil for a car like protein for your body. So protein also helps give you energy, because that protein, once it's broken down into your body, it goes into, turns into sugar, which gives you energy in your body. So not only is protein fortifying and giving your muscles and your tendons and your joints nutrition, but it's also transforming into sugar, and it's giving you natural sugar. It's giving you that energy that you need for the day. And you can get protein in so many different kinds of food. You get protein not just from meat, because those of us who are vegetarians, including myself, you can get protein from nuts, peanuts, almonds, walnuts. You can get it from seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, chia seeds, and you can get it from all kinds of beans, especially chickpeas. Chickpeas has the highest form of protein out of all of the beans, but other beans that are great for you are black beans, pink beans, and kidney beans. So it's very important to make sure that you get protein every day. And what a great way to start off in the morning with protein.
Okay. All right, so we should have protein every day, especially in the morning. Now, I wanted to ask you about the protein shake. Sometimes they say it's not good to make like certain smoothies or things like that and leave it for a certain amount of time, because the longer it's left broken down, it loses the health properties. What about a protein shake? Can you make that in advance? Can people make that the night before How early can you make the protein shake so you don't have to worry about getting up a little earlier to do it?
Okay, so this is the funny thing about protein shakes, and even when you're making fresh juices, they need to be taken in immediately so that you don't lose the nutritional value. So yes, Pastor Stephanie, what you said is absolutely correct. You should not make a protein shake or even a juice through a juicer the night before, because what happens is it settles. If you can even do a very quick experiment. Make a protein and make a juice and let it sit. Let it sit for an hour. You will see everything has literally floated down to the bottom of the glass. So of course, you're going to take a spoon, you're going to stir it up, and you're going to drink it. But what happens is it materializes. The best way to have a protein shake is to drink it as soon as you make it. Drink it as soon as you make it, because everything is fresh. It has, and then what happens too, when you leave it exposed, you're leaving it exposed to the air. If you do an experiment, leave a glass of water out for a couple of hours. When you come back to the water, you're going to see little bubbles, little tiny bubbles in the glass of water. That's because the evaporation has gotten into the water in the glass. So the same thing is going to happen. Even if you made a smoothie the night before, you cover it up and you put it in the fridge, that's the worst thing you could do, because the refrigeration, it changes the form of the protein and all of the other ingredients that you put in the protein. And it's not going to react the same way in your body once you drink it. Because if you notice, all of the proteins, they start to stick on the inside of the glass. So that's why it's important. You get up, you take that few minutes, because remember, a protein shake takes less than 5 minutes to make. And it's fresh and it's going straight into your system. Nothing is being evaporated. Nothing is being broken down. And it's the same thing if you're a person who juices. You want to have it fresh as soon as the juices start coming out into your glass. You want to drink it down right then and there, because you want to get the highest quality and the freshest quality of the protein and all of the nutrients from the fruit and all of the seeds or whatever you decide to put in your protein shake. You want to get it fresh right then and there into your system.
Okay. Thank you for confirming that, Athena. Also, is it best to have your protein shake in the morning? Or can you drink it anytime during the day?
No, you can drink it anytime during the day.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to necessarily have it in the morning. You know, for most people, like I said, who have a very, very busy life, they don't have time to sit down to even eat oatmeal or you know, a breakfast, waffles with fruit. You know, you just have some people, they just don't have that time. So, you know, the best way to go is a protein shake. But if you're fortunate enough that you have a job that has a kitchen and they have microwave and they have, some jobs have blenders, you know, you can keep stuff in your desk drawer. You know, a lot of people at their job, they have a stash drawer where they keep their little junk food and their snacks. They may keep tea bags and, you know, all different kinds of things. So you can keep a little container of protein powder, a bag of sunflower seeds, chia seeds, or whatever have you, and you can make a protein shake on your lunch break. Or, you know, at night, a lot of people go to the gym after work. So, you know, a lot of the gyms, they have little cafe stations where you can go and get a protein shake done. They have all the different toppings, anything you want to go into it, veggies, all the other ingredients that I mentioned, and you can get a protein shake there, or you can just do it at home. So no, you can have a protein shake any time of the day.
All right. I ended up with a couple of other questions. I'm so sorry. And the reason why I'm going to kind of stick here a little bit is because this protein shake, protein bar thing is huge. Now,
Yes,
I
it
saw on
is.
Instagram the other day. What did you say? I'm sorry.
No, I said it is. It's a
Yeah,
huge business.
it
Huge.
is. It is really huge. And I want to see if we can dispel all of the myths, and get the best out of what you're bringing us today. One of the things I saw on Instagram the other day was someone was saying, well, you know what, if you're in a rush, they had a little portable blender and they put all the content inside. They didn't blend it. And she said, she makes it in the morning. Her and her husband, they make it in the morning and they carry it throughout the day. They keep it in the refrigerator until until later on when they're ready to actually make it. Is that the same as it being broken down? And so therefore it becomes not as potent.
It is. It's the same thing. It's not the same as making it right then and there, fresh. And as soon as it's blended, you pour it into the glass and you're taking it in. You're absolutely right. It is the same thing because, again, the key word was carrying it around. And then you're putting in refrigeration. Refrigeration changes the molecules of food. That's exactly what refrigeration does. And it's the same thing with certain foods. You should not refrigerate onions. You should not refrigerate potatoes. You should not refrigerate garlic because refrigeration, that cold air, it changes the molecules of the food. So it's the same thing with the protein shake. Yes, you put everything that you like and you put it in that container and it's shaking up in your bag. And then once you get to work, you're sticking it in the refrigerator. And guess what? The quality of the protein shake is already changing because of the refrigeration. So then when you're ready to drink it, you figure, okay, all I have to do is just shake it up and I'm good. But you're not getting the same kind of quality of nutrients had you just taken that. Not even 2 minutes. It takes literally under 2 minutes to blend a protein shake. 5 minutes because once you put the food, not even 5 minutes, 3 minutes to make a protein shake. So if you can take 3 minutes to make a protein shake, whatever time of the day, then you're guaranteeing yourself to get the best form of nutrient going into your body right then and there in real time.
The more you talk, the more questions I got, Athena. All right,
I know you do. That's right.
Here's the challenge. And this is I know this is key for some people because I have asked myself this all the time. How long do you blend? Because I know for a fact I am horrible with this. I blend it, and then I blend it, and then I walk away, and I'm like, it's settling. Let me go back, and I blend again, and I come back, and I'm like, Stephanie, are you killing this food? Please help us.
So, okay, now it's so funny because that's equivalent to steaming vegetables. So the question is, how long should I steam vegetables? So it's the same thing. How long should I blend my protein? So now, it doesn't take long to blend a protein. So now a blender has different settings. It has chop, stir, blend. It literally takes, so if you wanna sing a couple of keys to a song, all you need to do is 2 verses. Whatever your favorite song is, you sing 2 verses. That's equivalent to 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay.
Not even more than that. Not even 2 minutes. Okay. But keep it under 2 minutes to blend whatever protein. You don't have to, I was sitting on the dock of the bay. Nope, you don't even have to sing the whole song. You stand there. Now, it also depends what you're putting in. If you, and juicing is a little bit different. Juicing is not the same thing as making a protein. So we're talking about protein shake. So it's much more instant because why? Everything is pretty much powdery. Yes, you're going to put your fruit, which a little bit more solid. So that's why I say 2 minutes. That's all you need. And if you're putting on chop first, you press chop first, because what that does, that speeds up the blender, and that'll help cut the fruit, whether it's bananas or frozen berries. That will help cut the fruit. So that's why it's important that you start off with chop first. You press the button chop. You do that for a minute, and then you press blend, and you do that for 1 more minute, and then you should be good. Okay. Now, what happens is sometimes when you're making a protein shake, you see the powder, it may be sticking just a little bit. Take a spoon, take the top off. While it's still blending, take a spoon and just scrape the sides just a little bit. You don't have to dig the spoon down near the blade. Just right at the top, go around with a spatula or a spoon just to get the little bit of powder residue off of the sides of the glass, and then put the top on, and you still go, but you're still keeping it under 2 minutes.
Okay. Now I got low, medium, and high. So in other words, we're doing high for a minute, and then maybe medium for a minute.
Right, that's it. Don't put it on low, because what happens if you put the speed on low, it's not going to mix the protein shake properly. So you can start off on high. Yeah, you have all different kinds of blenders. Some say low, medium, high. Some say chop, mix, chop, blend, and stir. So depending on what kind of blender you have, yes, if you're going to put frozen fruit in with your protein powder, you should start off on high for 1 minute and then go to medium for 1 more minute, and you should be good.
Okay. Ooh, thank you. And I have been dying.
No more singing these long. You don't have to sing no long church hymn. Just 2 minutes and you're good.
Thank you. Okay, I got one more question that comes to my mind immediately.
Yes.
Is it good to replace a meal with protein shake, or should that just accompany or be some type of an interim snack?
Okay, that's a good question. So it depends on if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to gain weight, because remember, protein shakes, you have a lot of bodybuilders, and they're preparing for, and not necessarily you have to be in any kind of tournament, bodybuilding tournament, but you're trying to get your body up to a certain mass, and they put raw egg, they're putting extra bougies and all of this stuff. So yes, you can replace one meal, but not every meal. So in other words, you can have a protein shake for breakfast, but then lunch and dinner should be a meal. Or you can have a meal for breakfast and have a protein shake for lunch and have a meal for dinner. Yes, but every sitting should not be a protein shake. No, because again, even if you're a person that's losing weight, your body needs a certain level of vitamins, minerals, and amino acids. And that has to, my apologies, has to come from different sources of food. So no, you should not be having a protein shake for every sitting, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. No, because you're depriving your body of certain nutrients.
Okay. And I ask that because years ago, my most effective weight loss was when I was on a program where you ate from every single family of food. You had to have oils, fruit, vegetables, carbs, everything, dairy. You had to. And I don't think a lot of people understand, when they say, okay, I'm on a no carb, these things, it's not healthy for you, because like you said, you're depriving your body needs these things. All of these things do something different for your body. Cutting back is much different than cutting out. And
Exactly.
not only that, you feel the different energy levels when
No,
you
it's true.
don't have, your protein might give you energy, but carbs give you a different source of energy. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to ask, because like I said, I looking at Instagram because of the show, I get, a lot of content or a lot of thoughts from it. So I'm picking up a lot of things that people are doing, and a lot of unhealthy practices are going into this weight loss and things like that. And I'm like, this is our opportunity to ask. So let's get these questions out. And I remind everybody, listen, this chat room is open.
Yes, it is. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Right.
There's no question is a silly question. That's what I always say.
Yeah. And when you're gone, then oh yeah, I remember now. Not only that, as you're talking, like things are just popping up in my head. So what's next? Okay, so we did the protein thing. What's next?
So I just want to piggyback off of that. And see, this is what happens when you don't understand food. And you feel, you go on these different channels, you're listening to people who are supposed to be experts, they look great and they're making a lot of money, and their show has been on the air for however long. I'm not here to judge any other person who is knowledgeable or educated in the health field. However, you have to keep in mind, everybody's body is different. That's number one. Number two, do your own research. If you're able to go to a nutritionalist, because what a nutritionalist will teach you is they will teach you about your body and what you can eat. You can't just go turn on the television and, you see a person, they're wide-eyed, they're bright, and they're looking great, and they're telling you, you should eat this and you should eat that. No. It's very important that you go to nutritionalists, because they will explain to you, they will break down your body, what's good for you, and how you should eat. Now, at the same time, you still have to do your due diligence to read the things that your nutritionist may tell you to eat, because you're going to always not like something or like something that you're going to eat. And the key thing is moderation. Everything should be in moderation. You don't need to starve yourself to lose weight. Everything is moderation, whatever you're eating, even sweets, it's moderation. So the key thing is learn your body, learn what you can eat, and eat things in moderation. That's very important, because you don't have to deprive yourself of that dark chocolate bar. You don't have to deprive yourself of that carrot cake. Hello, I'm not doing that. So everything is in moderation.
Okay. Thank you for that caveat, that little extra pinch that we needed. What you got for us next?
Okay, so as I was saying before, health food. Not all health food is good for you. So now there's all of these different kinds of drinks. Oh my goodness. There's all of these different kinds of drinks, flavored waters, okay. I don't want to drink a lot of juice. Juice has a lot of sugar, which is true. So people are grabbing all of these flavored waters. Be careful. Turn the bottle over. Read what's in that water. You have ingredients like sucrose. Sucrose is an artificial sweetener. A lot of these flavored waters have sucrose. Even a lot of the protein shakes that you buy in the bottle have sucrose. So as soon as you see that, put it right back on the shelf. and find something else without added sugar. Now, you say, well, yes, the body does need sugar. And like I said, it should be no more than 9%, at least the lowest, the better. Anything under 9% of grams of sugar, 9 grams of sugar is good. So when you are thirsty and you want to go, you do your shopping, or you're on the go and you go to the store and you grab, turn the bottle over and see what's in the ingredient. And if you see sucrose or the killer aspartame, put it down. Aspartame, and you can Google it. Aspartame is a cancer-causing ingredient. A lot of foods that say sugar-free, you're like, oh, great, it's sugar-free. Turn the package over. 9 times out of 10, it has aspartame in it.
Spell
A lot of the
Dina,
aspartame
spell that for us.
ASPARATME, aspartame. I may be a letter off, but it's spelled aspartame. So it's ASPARATME. It is an artificial sweetener, but it's also a cancer-causing additive. So a lot of foods that say sugar-free, whether it be cookies, cereal, drink, they will have that ingredient in it. Put it down. Don't take it. Don't buy it. It is aspartame is no good. And you know what's so funny? I actually bought a drink. It didn't have aspartame in it. It has sucralose. That's when I was, still learning about sugars. And it had a very artificial sweet taste to it. So, it's funny when you're used to just drinking plain water or cranberry juice, and you go and you buy these drinks, just the taste, you can taste the artificial. It doesn't taste right. There's just a certain taste to these drinks. A lot of people guzzle it down because they're thirsty, so they don't really think nothing of it. But if you sip it slowly, you will taste that artificial taste. So sucralose, aspartame, stay away from it. Not good for your body. They're artificial sweeteners, and they even come in a little packs of sugar packs when you go to Dunkin' Donuts and you want to sweeten up your coffee and stuff like that. So just be careful of those two.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. The flavored waters are a killer because, like you said, they all have these artificial sweeteners in it. And it's like, okay, well, then you killing yourself either way.
No, it's true. And a lot of people, I mean, I had a neighbor, an elderly woman, very sweet lady. And, when it's time for the garbage to go out, it would be over 20 bottles of this flavored water. So one day I was in a supermarket, I decided to pick it up. Sucralose, aspartame. I'm like, wow. These are flavored waters. They're raspberry, lemon, strawberry. They have that flavor of that fruit, but there's no fruit in there. That's number one. And number two, they have these artificial sweetness so that a lot of people don't like to drink water.
Right. Right. This is their substitute.
Exactly, because the doctors will tell you must drink water, otherwise you will have kidney failure because water flushes toxins out of your body. So for people who don't like to drink water, a lot of people now they have these water pitchers that has a little tube inside that you put fruit inside the tube, and then you pour the water. And so now that's the best way. If you want to have fruit flavored water, that's the most natural way to have fruit flavored water. But to buy water in a bottle that says peach flavored, kiwi flavored, cherry flavored, but then it's full of additives, you're not doing your body any service. You're just
Right.
quickening your health to an early grave.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that you can't offset water for anything else. It's just not going to
No,
work.
you can't. You
Isn't it
can't.
called a diffuser?
Yes, it's
You
called a diffuser. That
know?
is absolutely
Okay.
right. That's exactly what it's called, a diffuser. Yes.
Okay. For everybody, that's what Athena's talking about. It's that it looks sometimes, most times it comes like a tea kettle, and you just sit the water, the little piece in the middle, in the center of it, and
Right.
it kind of feeds your water, whatever the fruit is.
Right.
Everything is natural.
And
It's natural, and like you said, it's already sugar that you're putting in your water, so it's still kind of
exactly.
in the water, but at least it's natural for you.
So I just want to mention, so now a lot of, you can go to Target. It's summertime is coming. And so it's these big, clear water pitchers, and it has the tube inside where
Mm.
you put the fruit, and then you just pour the water, fresh distilled or spring water. And what that does, that draws out the juices from the fruit, and it just goes naturally into your water. So, you have that big old pitcher on the table and everybody's out playing and doing all different kinds of activity. And then when they come over and you press the dispenser button, you're getting a nice fresh cup of fruit, naturally fruit flavored water, as
You
opposed
see
to
that? I'm
buying
sorry.
junk in bottles. Yes,
Hmm. You'll see that a lot in hotels now.
yes,
You'll see that a lot in hotels. They'll have this big
absolutely.
old picture on the table, like you said, with
Yes,
slices in
and
the
it's
middle, and you could just put
yes,
the spigot. Um,
yes, and it's so good. It's so funny you said that, because I went to an event at a hotel, and as soon as you walked in, they had two big
mhm,
pitchers. One
mhm.
was filled with strawberries. One was filled, Pastor Stephanie. One was filled with strawberries, and the other one was filled with lemons.
Right, right.
And it was so good. It was, they had ice, and
Yes.
it was
Hmm.
so refreshing, so refreshing. So,
Hmm.
it again, I go back to my motto. Are you going to treat your body like a treasure chest or a garbage disposal?
I got a question. I gotta go. I told you, the more you talk, we're gonna miss our pray for them today because we had scheduled our pray for them. So for those of you who remember, I said we're gonna do our pray for them beginning the month. We're gonna miss this because I'm gonna interject this question, and I'm sure that Athena has some other stuff. So I'm sorry, Shanti's, but we got to get this stuff out. Water, regular water. I hate the taste of spring water. I can't stand it. But I will. I am up 99%. I'm a water drinker. Can we talk about just for a couple of minutes the different type waters? So you have the the Perrier or the seltzer or club soda water. You have your regular spring water. You have the distilled water that they say is like for machines and things like that, but we're not supposed to drink that. Can we talk about that so people can know? Since we're talking about healthy and not healthy, and you brought up the water, this is a perfect time. And I'm sorry for kind of taking you off your flow, but can we talk about that for a minute, please?
No, absolutely. So that's the great thing about when you're talking about nutrition and wellness. You got to be able to jump from one subject to the other. And that's a huge, huge topic that I've had so many conversations with my dad, with other people. The thing about water, yes, water is a very vital thing that everybody needs. You need water to keep yourself hydrated. You need water to prevent your kidneys from shutting down. You need water because it cleanses out toxins out of the body. But what kind of water should you be drinking? So let's start with seltzer water. Seltzer water goes through an osmosis, meaning it goes through a machine that changes the molecules of how it normally is. It's bubbly. So a lot of people drink seltzer water. It's all different, there's no sugars. It's just bubbly water. But what people need to understand with seltzer water, and I was reading up about that last year, it tends to cause a lot of gas because of the process that it goes through. And seltzer water is also not good for your teeth because what it does, that process, it breaks down the calcium levels in the enamel in your teeth. So be careful of how much seltzer water that you drink. Moving on to spring water. Spring water is supposed to be the most natural form of water after tap water. It goes through a filter, filtering out as many chemicals, lead, mercury, when it goes through the pipes. But what has happened now? You see spring water, it says added minerals, so it has a different kind of taste. So spring water is okay. However, you have to be careful of how much you drink. Now, maybe 90% of people drink spring water because they don't want to drink tap water. Because why? Tap water goes through pipes. So you're getting all of the chemicals and the rust from the pipe. Now you have a lot of people that's like, oh, well, New York City has the cleanest water or Westchester County has the cleanest water. Okay. So they say, why should I buy water in a bottle when I can just turn on my tap and drink water? To each his own. Everybody has their own prerogative. However, there is a machine that tests water. It has an electronic piece that goes inside of a container filled with water. And when you turn it on, it actually separates the level of chemical from the water, and that settles down to the bottom of the glass. And, I met this person about 10 years ago. They were selling this machine.
Yes.
That does that.
Yep.
And, it was so expensive. I couldn't afford it.
It was.
So
it was like $4,000. Yes.
Yes. And I went to their home. It was me and 4 other people. And they had these little shelves. And it was 10 different jars. Underneath was Perrier, Evian, Poland Spring. And in each glass, you saw the level of rust and chemicals that was settled in the bottom of the glass for each company. You know which water company had the most rust? Evian water. I was shocked because at that time I was working in a health food store, and that was one of our top sellers, Evian water. But that had the most. So I have a cup. I happen to have a cup right here in front of me. Let me just open it up real quick. I'm sorry. My apologies. Okay, so here's the cup. So let's just say the cup was filled with water. You see where my finger is? That is how much rust. It was orange. That showed the level of rust and chemicals that the machine separated from the water itself. Poland Spring was right about here. I'm going to move my Poland Spring was right about here. Evian was here. Perrier was here. So, and Perrier is like seltzer water. So we have to be careful about all of these companies that are telling people, oh, this is a great water to drink. It's fresh, it's pure, it's from the mountains. No. Take time to do your research. Not every kind of water is the same. They're all processed differently. Spring water is not the same as distilled water. Distilled water is not the same from now they have this osmosis water. They are all processed differently. Should you drink spring water? Yes, you should, but not a lot of it. Should you drink distilled water? Distilled water is actually better than spring water. So, and I've been doing research on water for over 25 years. Distilled water is better than spring water, and now they have the osmosis water, which is actually better than distilled water. So it's so complicated. It's confusing. Most people don't have time to do all of this research. They're just grabbing water. When I'm in the supermarket, you get 3 cases of Poland Spring for $10. Hey, it's spring water. I'm just gonna grab it and go. So a lot of people are not going to take the time to do the research to see which water is healthy for you. It's like, as long as I'm drinking water, that's what matters. For those of us who are really honing in on what we're putting into our body, yes, spring water. So we have, let's do it like this. We have 1 tap water. Next is spring water. Above that is distilled water, and above that is osmosis water. So those are the levels of the cleanliness of water. Tap water, spring water, distilled water, and osmosis water. So those are your level of options of water to drink. But yes, you should drink water, at least 3 8-ounce glasses of water, or a half a gallon of water at least a day, if not half of that. It's very important that we drink water every single day, because your body is made up of 72% water. And we're constantly, now that the weather is getting hot, you're sweating. You're going to sweat it through your pores. You're going to sweat it when you talk. Water comes out of us in different places. When you urinate, so you got to constantly replace that. And very, very important, do not drink ice water. Do not drink ice water. Your body is not meant to take in ice cold water, water that is topped with ice, because what that does, that shocks your nervous system, believe it or not. You should be drinking cool water, not ice cold water. There has been cases where people have died from drinking too much ice water or drinking too much water at one time. There was a case last year. It was all over the news. She was a mother. She had just worked out. She drank a gallon of water straight. I mean, she probably took a breath, took a breath, but she drank all of the water literally at one time, and she died. Why? Because she drowned. They call it drowning your lungs. She took in too much water at one time. It's just like taking in too much food at one time. Your body needs time to digest food, just like your body needs time to digest water. So you shouldn't guzzle water when you drink it. You take a sip, you put it down. You take a sip and you put it down. And then also, do not drink water while you eat your food. That is such an unconscionable habit that I think 95% of the population does. When I go to restaurants, my father taught me that. And he gave me books that explain why you should not drink while you're eating. Because what you're doing, you're interrupting the natural digestion of the food. You're supposed to just sit, eat your meal, chew it, let it digest, so that you can get all of the vitamins and minerals and nutrients from the food that you ate. And then you wait about 10 or 15 minutes, and then you drink some water. You take a sip, You whoosh it around in your mouth and you swallow it. Who cares who's looking at you? You drink, you swish it around a little bit, and you swallow it. But it's very important, very, very important that you don't drink while you eat. You don't guzzle your water down, because you have to give time for the water to go down into your system. It's just like getting a balloon and you filling up the balloon with water, but you keep pouring the water. What's going to happen to the balloon is eventually going to pop, because there's no more room in the balloon for the water. It's the same thing when you drink too much water. You're filling up your system with water too fast, and it's not being allowed to digest the water. So don't drink with your meals. Don't guzzle your water when you drink, and do not drink ice water. Cool water, refrigerated water, yes. And if you want to put ice, and I have to be realistic, let's be realistic, yes, the summer is coming, it's going to get hot for a few cubes, maybe 2 or 3, but not a glass full of ice. And then your drink getting poured. Floor is yours, Pastor Stephanie.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
No, it's okay.
Okay. We have a question from Vivian. You kind of answered it already. She says, is there ever a time to drink ice cold water? So like you said, just a couple of cubes, but not a glass of ice water. Okay. So thank you for answering that. I need to go back a little bit because I missed a question, but okay, because I can't stand room temperature water. I have to drink my water cold. But I do want to piggyback off of something you said. My mother, I will never forget. She was the water queen, and her doctor had to stop her from drinking. He told her stop drinking all that water because she was killing her kidneys. She was flushing and drowning her kidneys. So although, like you said, we know that, the water flushes out the toxins, and the kidneys are a huge gateway to get that done. You can actually do damage to your kidneys by drinking way too much water. So not only did I remember the story in the news about the woman with the lung issue who died, but I'm telling you, I know for a fact that your kidneys can take a beating as well when it comes to your this water drinking. Thank you for taking time with the water thing. We have a couple of comments regarding water, and says water must have electrolytes in it to be truly effective. Also, we do not need as much water as is being pushed by the mainstream weaponized media. We all have been lied to about many things. Is it, from your knowledge, is it true about the electrolytes that need to be?
Yes, that is true. Yes, your body does need electrolytes. Electrolytes is what gives your body neurological balance. So say a lot of times you have people, they work out hard, and then afterwards they drink some water, but they still feel a little lightheaded. So what electrolyte does, electrolyte balance out your nervous system. And so then that way you're not off balance when you finish working out. So yes, electrolytes are very important in reference to when you drink water.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that for us. So I want to go back a little bit. I didn't see this question earlier. There was a question about, do you also need collagen powders? We talked about the protein powders. What about the collagen? I know that's coming up big as well now. I see that all over the internet. Get this collagen powder. You got to add just collagen. I even seen a protein and collagen powder. So do we need collagen powders, and what is it?
So collagen is a part of your skin. We all have collagen in our skin, and as we get older, we lose that. It's called elasticity. So we lose that elasticity in our skin as we get older. It's just a part of aging. It's just like we lose protein as we get older. We lose water in our body as we get older. So that's why it's important when you're going into your late 40s and into your 50s, you need to make sure that you drink extra water, that those protein shakes, that you're making sure that you're having them, if not every day, every other day. And collagen, yes, collagen is very important for your skin because it gives it elasticity. Is very important for your joints and tendons because it helps you have more flexibility in your move. You have less aches, less arthritis. So yes, collagen is very important to have. And a lot
Okay.
of the protein shakes now have collagen in them.
Okay. Okay. I did see the mix of
Yeah.
the. Okay, we have time for one more of your topics, and we're gonna have to get you back on more often because we're just running out of time. Oh my
Yes, I
goodness.
appreciate
Oh my,
that. It's always just so much fun.
it
Like I
is.
said, I just love sharing information. You know, coming up as a little girl, my dad had over 350 books in our apartment. I was born and raised in the Boogie Down Bronx. And, being a nerd, I stayed in most of the time and I just read and just took it all in. And for me, being able to share the information with other people, because what I started seeing as I was growing up, people just a lot of health problems, a lot of health
Hmm.
issues.
Hmm.
Um, and it was because of their environment, how they were raised, what they were used to eating, which is what their parents ate. But then, people need to understand you have options. You don't have to eat what your parents ate because what your parents ate and your grandparents ate was not necessarily healthy to eat. So
Hmm.
just being able to just really educate people on food. What is food? Why should we eat food? How should we eat food? What food should we eat? I truly enjoy, enjoy just sharing. Because that saying goes, sharing is caring. And I just want to be able to just see people in a more healthier state. Because when you are healthier, you get to do the things that you aspire to do, whatever it is that you want to do in your life, and so that you can live a purposeful life.
Amen. Amen. And amen. Do you have anything you can share with us really quickly before you go?
So, what I want to say is on the topic of today, when it comes to health food and being healthy, just take the time to read. When you're in the supermarket and you want to change out the foods, the junk foods that you've been eating for years, you don't want to eat them anymore because you're tired of feeling sluggish and bloated, your face is breaking out, and you're having all of these health issues. Take the few minutes to read. Pick up that flavored bottled water, turn it over and read what's in it. And the thing is, what's going to happen is you're going to come to an understanding.
Uh-oh. Did we get frozen?
Hello.
Well,
All right, there we
okay.
go. There we go. Can you see me? Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
what it is we need to understand is that you have choices. You have choices on the food that you put in your body. So
Hmm.
it's worth if you can take the time to run to Macy's to catch that sale on that shirt that you want to get, or that pair of shoes that you want to buy, or that purse you want to get with the matching shoes and the matching outfit, then you're worth taking the time to picking up that bottle of flavored water, picking up that bag of healthy chips, turning it over, reading it, and saying whether or not I'm going to put that in my shopping cart. So it's all about you knowing your self-worth, what your body deserves, and making sure that I'm treating my body like a treasure chest and not like a garbage disposal.
All right. Thank you so much. We have to have a part 2 of this. Health food is not always healthy, because I'm sure we didn't even touch on some of the stuff that you have in your arsenal. So we are our next segment will be a part 2 of this. So we don't even have to, you ain't even got to worry about what we're going to talk about next, because I'm sure we're coming back to this, because this was really, really absolutely great. Thank you so much, Athena.
You're welcome, Pastor Stephanie, and Due Time Crew.
So much.
It's always awesome being with y'all and sharing the love. And go out there, get some protein today, and make it an awesome day, everyone. Thank you again, Pastor Stephanie.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful and blessed day.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
All righty, let's get that benediction. I'm so busy talking, and these conversations that we've been having have been so intense that I've slipped our benediction. So I'm going back to the old school. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. And again, that's our number 62226. I see Serge asked a couple of times, and I believe that was Shanti, so Anika, who threw that answer up in there. Do we drink water from the refrigerator? She said, yes, we can drink water. And I paid attention to that one, Serge. Yes, we can drink water from the refrigerator. It can be chilled. Like Shanti said, it just should not be ice. Like she said, you could even have a couple of cubes of ice in your water, but not ice water like you've seen other people do. Or when we go to a restaurant, it's a whole glass of ice water. And what we grew up on, ice water, that was something that helps, a lot of people drink water. I, for one, remember when I had my intestinal surgery. I remember coming off that surgery, and anybody who knows Stephanie knows I love me some ice or cold water. And I couldn't drink the water cold at all. I mean, at all. It had to be room temperature, and even at a certain level. So in other words, if it was cold outside and cold in the house, I still had to make sure that the water wasn't even a certain level of temperature at room temperature. And that kind of goes along with Tamika's statement. I always wondered why I couldn't consume ice cold water. After paying attention to my body, I'm all the more wiser. Yes, you have to listen to your body. Like I said, we talk about it all the time. After coming off that surgery, I could not drink cold water, period. And like I said, even cold was like, what's cold? Because had to be almost warm. And I loved it. I still love the water, but it just, after a while, child, please, I went back to my cold water. I could tolerate the ice water. And my favorite even now is ice water. So now that Athena has told us twice that we should not drink ice cold water, I guess I'll pay attention. And we've learned a while ago that we should not drink ice cold water even after our meals, as Anika has reminded us, because it does something to our cells after we eat. It does something to your fat cells. So we did learn that a couple years ago. So there's so much to learn. God is an amazing God. Do you realize we're getting all of this stuff for absolutely free? He's already paid the cell phone bill, internet bill, cable bill, Wi-Fi ability. And then these ministers come on and give us all this information for free. I have not paid one person who has come on and blessed us. And let me just let you know, for the next 3 Thursdays for the rest of this month, let me just make sure I'm going to check this out. Hold on. I'm going to make sure I get this accurate. In this month, well, that's 26. All right. Yeah, I'm doing this right now. Yeah. For the next 3 weeks consecutively, we will not have the Due Time crew. They are not scheduled. We actually have 3 powerful women. Oh my goodness. And I'm not going to tell you in advance what they're coming on here to talk about. But we're introducing a segment called What So-and-so Wants You to Know. And we did that already once with the teachers. What teachers want you to know? Well, for the next couple of weeks, that's what those segments will be about. And the final segment, powerful women coming on. And I've already started booking for Thursdays. We will, we go through for those of you who have been Due Time participants, listeners, viewers, we go through our seasons of guests. So we have where we just kind of focus on the Due Time crew and miscellaneous conversations and things like that, different types of ministry within our own conversations. And then we have a season of guests, and we're in our season of guests. And I can tell that this is our season because everyone who I've spoken to, they're eager. They're like, yes, let's do this. And I've got some couples, our relationship clinic. Our relationship clinic is coming back. I've already booked 2 powerful couples. They're older, seasoned couples. They've been married over 30, 40 years, and they are in the Lord. So I've gotten a couple of topics already that they've chosen. So we are in for a treat. But I want to take this quick moment to talk about our Breaking the Yoke Women's Conference 2025, July 19th. Now, we were supposed to be away this year because by the grace of God, last year, there was not a seat in the house. That was our second year. Not one seat in the house, believe it or not. By the time one of our speakers got there with her husband, there were no chairs. I was like asking for chairs, and they were like, we don't have any more chairs. I was like, wow, crazy. Every seat was pretty much filled for the most of the day until the day started going, and then people started exiting. But for the most part of the day, it was jam-packed. And I'm looking for that overflow again this year. And God has said that we are to do more interactive activities. So we have planned some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful activities. What did God say is the theme for this year? And for those of us who were a part of the Breaking the Yoke conference last year, we are bringing back the Struggle is Real theme because we did not dive into that theme the way we were supposed to. So now every single presenter will be focused dually on the struggle is real and what did God say about that struggle. So bring your struggles. We had someone who actually said that Christian people don't have struggles. And I was like, well, what kind of Christian is that? Because that's your life, struggles. God will navigate you through struggles. The Bible tells us to rejoice during times of trials and tribulations. So how does that equate to we don't have struggles? We would need God if we did not have struggles. Every struggle may not be as intense or as deep as another struggle in your life, or as someone else struggled with that same thing. My struggle with eating is not the same as Shantisa's struggle with eating, or Lady Tamika struggle with eating, or Pastor Kim, or Vivian, and we're all women, but we are all different if we have a struggle with eating. And Lady Tamika has lost, she was never big, but she lost a wonderful, she looks great. She worked hard at that. So we see the results of hard work when you focus on that. But at one point, for whatever the reason is, she wanted to, shed some pounds, and she did. But we all have struggles, and that is coming back. And boy, our presenters are amazing. We do have some who have remained in our family. Our Minister Diane Evans, she's back. Woo, a powerhouse. And we've got our Pastor Simpson, the female. Oh my goodness gracious. From year one, she's been knocking them out. Now, she gave some of the older, seasoned Christian people a run for their money the first year because they were grumbling. But I'm going to tell you something. People weren't sitting where I was sitting. I was sitting in the back of the room the first year. And let me tell you something. Everybody who claims that they were grumbling were not grumbling. I specifically watched the body language, and I watched the facial expressions. I watched the way, whether they were uncomfortable or not. No, they were enjoying that thing. So I don't care what they came back and told you or somebody else. I watched them. And Pastor Simpson talked some real talk. And man, she's coming back this year with her husband. Now, we have had both Pastor Simpsons on here, and they were on twice. That's how much they were able to bless us. They're coming back. Who else do we have back? We have the Farrars back with us this year. Oh, God is amazing. They will be in New York with us. Just so happened we moved the date, and they will be in New York on that date. They are excited to back. Who else do we have with us? Again, we have our sister, our nutritionist, our health coach, Athena here. She was here today. If you loved her, she'll be back again. Who else? I'm trying to envision my flyer. We have Minister Anna back with us. She was with us the first year. She's back with us again. And guess who we have with us? With all due respect, with Shantice and V. They were a hit last year. There was a couple that would not stop talking last year. And my goodness, they are so excited. I have gotten so much feedback about their presentation from last year. So they are back. So we have a wonderful roster of not only presenters, but we have a wonderful roster of activities. And we are so looking forward to really just having a wonderful time in the Lord. We call it 8 hours of power. I don't know if we'll be in there for the full 8 hours, but listen, set your day aside to just be a part of that day. Let me see. I got some comments in here. I was all ears when Pastor Simpson was speaking. Shanti says, yes, Minister Anna Baez will be at the conference again. Yes. I am, and everybody is so excited to be back. And we have a couple of brand new, we have presenters. We have someone who's going to be on with us on the Due Time show. She's going to be a part of, as a matter of fact, she's on here next week. Natalie Duffus. She's going to be a part of the conference. We have our Dr. Latoya Dalmage. I hope I'm saying her name right. She is one powerhouse. She's going to be on here on the Due Time show, and she's going to be a part of the conference. When I tell you, we're so excited. We are so excited to present this conference again. And I'm going to be honest with you. One of the things, I've been event planning for 38 years this year. Yeah, been at this a long time. Very little I have not done. I just would not have gone the route of a women's conference. Everybody and their mama is doing a women's conference. And it's like, okay, well, how many times are we going to do this women's conference? And God told me to do a women's conference. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. What's going to be authentic about a women's conference? Let me tell you something. Listen to the Lord. Because when God tells you to do something, he plans on doing it large. And like I said, we weren't starving for people the first year. It was a wave the first year. So we had some people come and then some people leave, and then others came for the second half and, blessed us the second half. But we had a wonderful roster of presenters back then. Last year, like I said, not one seat in the house. And this year, we plan on doing it even bigger. We are going to be at the same location, 10631 Sutphin Boulevard here in Jamaica, Queens, New York. So listen, plan to bring your seat cushion, something to go underneath your feet, so when you stand and move around, you will not be tired. Get some rest on July 18th, because come the 19th, you will be active and engaged. Okay, so I'm bringing it out now because Athena, she did a fantastic job today, and again, she's going to be a part of our conference. So I look forward to it. Okay, plan to join us July 19th at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. It is the day 12, no more than 8 o'clock. We'll be out of there. And it sounds like 8 o'clock. Listen, you put it in on a job Monday through Friday. You can't give it to the Lord. You can't listen, this is going to bless your life. And I forgot to tell you, we've got, like I said, we've got the couples thing. God infused couples this year, because that's what we were supposed to be doing if we went away. Boy, it's going to be great. 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 God spares life. You've been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Join us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. where we discuss matters of the heart, mind, and spirit. As you go through your day, be sure to set your mind on things that are above, not on things that are on the earth. They will only serve as a distraction. Remember, prayer changes things. It's Pastor Steph signing off, and I want to thank our girlfriend, our sister, our health coach, Athena Dent Allen, for blessing our lives today. Listen, I learned so much just in the protein and water area. And overall, I learned from every segment she talked about today. But you could not have walked away today with nothing. Thank you for your questions, your comments, and your engagement in this chat room. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. You'll be missing things just like this. We got a brand new subscriber this morning, so I give God thanks for everybody who has done that. Hit that notification bell so that you can be reminded each and every time we load up here on the Closer Walk Media Network. Please do not miss this opportunity to take Christ as your personal Savior right now. Please do not miss this opportunity to just strengthen that relationship with the Lord right now, because later is not promised to any of us. Until tomorrow, God spares. The men are back for Freestyle Friday. They have been rocking it out for the past month. The numbers have moved on Fridays. So people are really getting engaged with these men on the other side of this camera. So please make sure you tune in tomorrow, God spares. Until then, I love you.